Hey everybody, this is DM Mike, and this is the next Tabletop Simulator map for Star Wars Fantasy Flight Games. This is not for Dungeons & Dragons. I'm kind of taking a break from that right now. But this comes out of the beginner's game for Age of Rebellion, Fantasy Flight Games. And this is Whisper Base. And this is the main entrance where the adventure starts. So they kind of start in a jungle. It's not a relatively thick jungle. It's pretty minuscule, actually. Over here is Dash Rendar's ship, or at least a kind of a clone of it. That may not stay there. But anyway, the adventure starts here in the jungle, of course. And the characters or tokens can make their way through. And, of course, they come across the base pretty quickly. This adventure is kind of slow pace. It's just showing all the rules. I do not know how to play this game, so I'm going to be playing it very, very slowly and probably as is in the book. But they talk about how they come across the base immediately, and their first thing to do is to kind of go into the docking bay, and they have their first encounter. So that's what I've set up here. As you can see, I've used a lot of power units and Imperial turrets. I have rock here, solid rock walls, as if the base itself is kind of been built inside the rock itself. A bunch more over here. We got more turrets, a bunch of, a little more forest over here. It depends on what side we come in on. You can see more of the dust and mist that we've kind of built in. Now let's go into the docking area, docking bay. This is a pretty wide mouth, mainly for multiple ATSTs could come in and out of the base if necessary. That's one reason why. But they come in, and this is the first shot they're going to get as the tokens look around, or the characters, I should say. We got a couple ATSTs over here that are being worked on. A lot of different little props like power units and some crates. This is not in its final version yet, so these may move around. Got little droids, kind of beeping and booping and doing their thing. And over here is another ATST, and we've got an astromech droid right down here, along with, just more power units and what's this over here? These terminals. And, just more crates kind of spilled out all over the place. I'm going to have some NPCs in here, just Imperial Navy, maybe a couple stormtroopers, things like that, just kind of wandering around. Now, when the players get in here, they have an option to go through this door right here, or there's another door on the opposite side to get into Whisper Base. But let's go ahead and just take a quick look here at Whisper Base. All right, here we go. Here's a kind of a quick 3/4 shot of Whisper Base. As you can see, I've built it up completely. It is not 2D, flat image. That's actually what I was going to do. I did not want to spend this amount of time on building out a base because I felt like I needed to spend that time learning how to play the game. But of course, I changed all that, and now here we are with a fully fleshed out map of the entirety of Whisper Base, and with the walls, Imperial walls, computer systems. I mean, just about anything and everything is here. A lot of Imperial wall textures and different things and instruments. That I did a simple Google search, found Imperial wall textures, applied them to the tokens, and just kind of plopped them in, made walls. So let's see where to begin. Let's go way over here. This is the mess hall. As you can see, we can actually get down in here, and the tables, everything is 3D. With the chairs, the little pots here, these large tables. This is, of course, where the Imperial troops have their grub. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to do all this because this is just a heck of a lot to do, but it was fine. That's fine. Who knows? Some kind of big brawl might end up happening here. So, you never know what your players are going to do, right? So anyway, this is it. This is the Imperial mess hall. These little doors here actually can open, which if I can just get it to click, there we go. I'm on it. There we go. Now, if the characters want to come in here, there it goes. Opens and closes. Let's go. So, don't do this to me. There we go. I'm going to close it back up. There we go. And all the doors in Whisper Base do that. So there's various different doors. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, there's this. These are cool. Let's get right in there. So get down to the hallway there. There we go. All right. Oh, it's kind of hard to click. This may or not work really well. And, oh, there we go. Now I got it. Okay. And we can open this one up. And the tokens can go right in there. This is the main communications area. Now I'm going to close it back up. Let's do this. Awesome. Let's look in this room. Actually, this is one of my favorite rooms. This is the communication center. As you can see, let's kind of get the camera down in there. This is what the players will see, or the tokens, as they're wandering around. There's some stuff in there. Again, I found these just wall textures online and made tokens out of them. And you can see this is a very, very busy room, but it was a lot of fun to put together all the little details. Just these walls themselves really just kind of sell the room. But anyway, that's the communications area, and because it's the communications area, like a hub, I decided to put in more power units, so larger power units, piping, all this kind of stuff that flows actually all around the communications center. And then, of course, we've got some piping over here, a lot of electronics and gizmos, and here's one of the main reactors for the entire base. There's an image of it on the 2D map, and I decided to kind of just bring it to life a little bit more. Not too complex, pretty simple. But you can see all the piping and the electronics. When the characters kind of come through one of these major doors, they'll get to see all that. And, of course, this door also opens. I don't know if I really want to try. Oh, wait, I've got to have this on. Oh, I may be able to get it. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. This one's kind of cool, too. There we go. Nice. I love this. Let's go ahead and close it back up. So I tried to keep everything, make sure everything had an Imperial aesthetic. So let's kind of zoom in here. This camera might stutter because I'm on a first. Yeah, there it goes. See, it looks nauseating. But see, this is what the tokens will see. When they're wandering around inside the base, it'll feel like they're inside of Imperial base with all these different textures and whatnot. So we can, it's not stuttering, great. We can go through here. Of course, they can go right to the mess hall where we've been. They can go down this corridor, make a left, and there's a whole bunch of different rooms down here. Ooh, you know what? Let's get out of that. That's just going to cause somebody to throw up. Now here I got some crates down in here. I put those there on purpose just in case there's a shootout in the hallway. People on both sides could actually take cover. Here are some more power units and officers' quarters. The officers' quarters are pretty straightforward. We got a bed, little terminal for him, his crates, a bench. Same thing here. You got another crew office quarters here. It looks like this crate's gone a little wacky. But he's kind of next to a bunch of electronics. Here's the armory. Let's zoom out. It's kind of weird, this camera angle, so sorry if I'm moving a little too much here. But you can see here's the barracks area. They're all kind of the same. They've got 4 beds in here. All these doors open. I left a few open here. And of course, they got lockers as well. So this is where probably a majority of the stormtroopers would be. And over here, of course, is another recreation room. So we've got tables and chairs and other benches, another droid. The locker room with a ton of lockers and benches. That's the firing range. I used similar walls as I used in the docking area because I felt like these would be stronger walls. So, blaster fire wouldn't break through, those kinds of things. Let's see where we got here. This is one of the main briefing rooms. I'm not sure. The way this is laid out, that's about it. I'm not sure what else to do with that room, but I'm sure it's an important room, but I don't know what else to do with it. Here's another room that was kind of fun to do. Really tall walls here, mainly because I had such huge mountainsides on this side. For whatever the reason, aesthetically, I thought it looked fine, and I needed to do that. So this is the only room that's really that tall. But you can see here, there's more terminals and walls here, electronic computer walls, and little chairs and whatnot for them. Let's see, what else we got here? Whoa. Oh, okay, well, obviously, right above the base is a Star Destroyer. I'm probably not going to keep this here, but it just looks so cool, and a couple TIE fighters. And you can see I put some blue light behind the mountains just to give it a little bit of atmosphere. But let's see, I think that's really all the major rooms. I mean, obviously, I think I talked about this. I got the power grid going. But this is Whisper Base. Again, did not want to spend this kind of time. I probably spent 15 to 20 hours on this, just getting the walls and textures and putting everything in place. These areas here, let me just point this out here real fast. These are just empty spaces. This is actually where just rock was, but I decided to put in piping. So it looks like, you can kind of see the guts of the base. It's not super important, but I like the look of it. So anywhere inside the base where there was empty space, I would just put those in. So it just looks kind of cool. Players cannot interact with it by any means, but it's there and it looks neat. Here's a little bit of effect here. We got some sparks going on, a little bit of smoke. This is another power grid area. And of course we have the landing area. Some TIE fighters will be up here just resting. We got a gun turret. We got more power units. We have the shuttle itself, which does play a role in the adventure, but I'm not sure what exactly. I kind of built this landing pad with rock and piping underneath and a bunch of huge power units, almost like giant braces that were holding up the landing pad. Then, of course, last bit of thing over here, just the power generators and another gun turret up there. And if the characters do look up, they're going to see a huge Star Destroyer floating above. Actually, that's in space. There's a radio drama that's attached to this, and there actually is Star Destroyer hanging out in space. But anyway, let's just pull out here. All right, so this, guys, is Whisper Base. If I learn how to do this and put it online, if you want to, maybe at some point it will be on the Tabletop Simulator Workshop on Steam for those who want to use it. There's little things I need to finish and touch up. It's not my perfect map. This is not to be braggadocious. I've done better maps. I just kind of winged it on this one because I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do. But, it does look cool, and I really enjoy it. Over here is a mess. Just want to show this. This is where I kind of put all my props and just copy paste from here and bring it over into the base, and just kind of put it where I need to. But anyways, guys, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. Don't want this to be too long, but this is Age of Rebellion Whisper Base from the Beginner's box set. It'll probably be up on the Steam Workshop at some point when I'm finally finished. But you know what? I'm sure there'll be more Star Wars maps to come as I get deeper into this new role-playing system. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.